In this video, I show you another job that you may be able to apply for as an international doctor. Hi there, Anthony here again, the Career Doctor. I'm here to help you better manage your medical career. So you asked and I found. In the last video where I did a quick video on some possible options for finding a job as an international doctor, one that would allow you to work for provisional registration, I showed you one through a medical recruitment agency site. That was a job in South Australia in psychiatry from memory. Well, I'm back here and I've found another one, this time actually through the South Australian health recruitment system. So by the way, if you like this video, why not leave a like or a comment? And if you're finding more than one useful, why not subscribe and turn on notifications? So let's just go in right now and take a look at it.
Okay, so we're on the South Australian Health Careers site, and there'll be a link to this particular job in the description below, so you can get that easily there. So we're going to go down here and we're going to search for our jobs, and then we're going to refine it on medical, and you can see here they're listing both things like trainee jobs as well as consultant jobs, and we'll go down to the very bottom here and we'll keep going down until we find this final job here listed to close 31st December, resident medical officer, RMO registrar, emergency department, Adelaide Metro Northern. So this is in fact an emergency medicine type RMO role or registrar role to work in Adelaide Metro. It's a network position, so you might, if you're successful, you might work in a range of hospitals, and these are the two particular ones, Lyle McEwen and Modbury. And for those who are wondering what the pay rates are like, so this is in Australian dollars, so if you were an international doctor and got successful in this role, let's say you're not already an emergency trainee in your own country, you're probably going to come in at that lower rate, just under $90,000 per annum. So that is actually reasonable money in Australia. So it's an opportunity to register your interest. They talk about the two particular hospitals that you might work in. They say that you need to hold a Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery or equivalent. It's interesting that we keep saying this because a lot of the degrees in Australia have now moved to something else. And so this is the important thing. You will be registrable with the Medical Board of Australia. So it doesn't say you have to be registered, it just has to be potential to be registered. A few other things. And so that's kind of the job description, the ad, but we need to go and look at the actual position description. And there's so here's the job description, your SA Health Job Pack. Applications closed 31st December for this position. The job status is full-time temporary up to 31st December 2018 as well. I'm pretty sure that's an error. I reckon that's actually for 2019. But you'd have to check with them. You can see the things, all the checking details, contact details there, guide to submitting, etc. We're just going to scan through all that. You can go and have a look at that if you're interested. We're going to go down to the selection criteria. And this is where I'll also, in this video, post a link to a video I did about the difference between essential and desirable criteria, because this is a position description where they choose to use essential criteria and desirable. I'm not a big fan of that. It's not best HR practice. But here's another example. So if we look at the essential requirements, you need to have this medical degree or equivalent and be registrable. You need to have negotiation, communication skills, and other personal abilities, aptitude skills. So there are things that you may have to rely on your past experience to convince the panel on. And then some knowledge stuff, which this looks like generic stuff. I'd be interested to know how many medical graduates have a understanding of the Australian National Safety and Quality Health Service standards. But anyway, here we get down to desirable criteria or desirable characteristics. So bear in mind that any desirable criteria or characteristic is a nice to have. It's not any essential, and they've sort of broken it down here. It says to distinguish between applicants who meet all essential requirements. So potentially, if they've got applicants who you're there and they've got another applicant, all meet the criteria, this might be the way they decide it. Again, some personal abilities, ability to work constructively with colleagues, including nursing staff. I wonder why that's not actually an essential. And then experience, past experience in emergency departments or a comparable healthcare system. So if you've done some emergency experience elsewhere, that that's a good thing for you. And this is a job that's an emergency trainee from the UK, for example, could apply for. And they're probably looking for that sort of person. Computing skills, knowledge of emergency medicine practices, and then the final thing, a Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery or equivalent, registrable with the Medical Board of Australia with general registration. So they're not saying that you must have that, but if there's someone there that does, then they're probably going to take them above you if you don't. You know, they're basically casting a broad net here. They wouldn't have structured this position description this way if they weren't thinking that they would probably need to at least look at some international doctors, because they didn't have a big enough candidate pool of people with general registration. So there you go. There's the role. And as I said, there'll be a link to that in the description below.
So there you go. Yet another job that you may be able to apply for, which will permit you to work under provisional registration. They are hard to find sometimes. You've really got to dig into the detail and know what you're looking for. So if that was helpful for you, please leave a like or comment. And if you're finding these videos useful, then why not subscribe and turn on notifications? I do one at least once a week. It helps me and it helps you. So that's the video. Once again, if I get, let's say, what do we go for? 50 likes on this one, I will do yet another one. I will find you another possible job to apply for. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.